Okay, so the next question is, in terms of dieting, what kind of meal plan would enable me to bulk up in a healthy way without limiting consumption choices of Malaysian food? So a few keywords which I noticed, which is not so optimal. Okay, is what kind of meal plan. So the first thing I want to address over here is the meal plan. First of all, any form of meal plan is destined to fail, because if for as long as you follow this rigid, structured way of eating, it's actually very might be boring. The best kind of food in the world, okay, the most tastiest food in the world, most delicious one, if you eat it enough times, it's gonna get boring. So rather than having meal plan, we promote habit-based nutrition instead. So having a few easy, simple to follow, science-based and successfully proven formula to follow, such as our eating slow and eating up to 80% full habit. If you can implement eating slow and eating up to 80% full, you don't need meal plan. If you can have vegetables with every meal, if you can have lean protein with every meal. So that is one thing. And then enable me to bulk up in a healthy way. Well, if you are very skinny and you want to bulk up in a healthy way, here's the good news. It's pretty easy. You don't necessarily need to. There's a false assumption that Malaysian food is actually unhealthy. There's a false assumption. What is unhealthy and what is healthy is not dependent on the nationality or where the food is from. A lot of people say, hey, nasi lemak is unhealthy. Truth of the matter is, nasi lemak, if you really break it down into its constituent components, it's healthy, but it's just not fat loss friendly. So why do I say that? Because if you think about it, santan is actually cold pressed coconut fat. If you really think about it, it's organic. It's not processed in any way. All you're doing is just take out and grate the coconut and mix it with some water, and then you squeeze out the milk. That's all. So, but it has high calories, and the only thing which is unhealthy about nasi lemak is actually the fact that you mix one food which is high carbs, rice, and you mix it with high fat, which is coconut milk, and you mix in another high fat, which is the sambal, and you mix in high fat again, egg from the egg yolks. So you combine all these things, you get high fat, high carbs, low protein, because normally they have like one quarter of an egg. So assuming that healthy is fat loss friendly is a mistake. So you actually need to think about what is fat loss friendly instead. And if you're talking about let's say you're very skinny and you just want to bulk up in a healthy way, yeah, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with it. You just keep on having it. Michael Phelps, that Olympic swimmer, he has a reputation of eating 10,000 calories per day. So yeah, his amount of calories consumed every single day is very, very high. It doesn't mean that it is unhealthy, because for him, eating too much vegetables is unhealthy, because like you will actually limit the amount of performance that you can do. So if I were to restructure this question and answer in terms of what kind of nutrition guideline can I use to enable me to get fit without limiting consumption of Malaysian food, now that question I can answer. So there's many ways you can go about this. The first way is to think about it in terms of asking yourself what matters to you the most when it comes to Malaysian food. Is it specific Malaysian food that you like, or is it everything you also like? And if it is everything you also like, do you like the taste, or do you like the feeling of being full? Because if you're talking about taste, you can actually just taste, and you apply the habit of eating slow and eating 80% full, and having vegetables with every meal, having lean protein with every meal. All of these things are actually very, very doable. So if you just like taste alone, if taste is about Malaysian food is what you like the most, then you can definitely do that. Another strategy to go about this is actually to just implement certain diets, certain nutrition methodologies out there They do things like intermittent fasting. They do things like 5 days on, 2 days off. They do meal replacement and all of those things. All of which we do not condone for very important reasons. Okay, and yeah. Because those things tend not to last very long, and they tend to be, let's say you do intermittent fasting. If you absolutely love intermittent fasting and you determine that you can last for the rest of your life, you can do it. Sure, go ahead. If you can do a ketogenic diet, because ketogenic like fatty, low carb foods are what keeps you going. You love it, and you want to do it for the rest of your life. Hey, I'm not judging. Go ahead. But most of the time, 99.9% of the time, people who go on any form of diet, any form of strict nutritional protocols, they tend to fall off after a few months. I myself, I've gone through these phases at least four major times in my life. I've gone through short, small phases many more times. I've tried over a dozen different kind of diets. And let me tell you, as someone who loves Malaysian food, as well as someone who has a culinary background, it never lasts long. So I enjoy Malaysian food too. I enjoy food all the time. But the way I go about it is that I focus on the taste. I don't focus on eating until I feel full and sleepy and all of those things. The other way to go about it, so we've covered number one, using habit-based approach to appreciate food even better, which I personally like to do, which I'm implementing in my life, because that eating slow allows me to enjoy food even better. The second way is to actually, I'm not condoning this way, but just so you know, this is an option. People use intermittent fasting, or people use a ketogenic diet as a way to enjoy fatty, high-carb food and still get to see results. The third way, which is my favorite way, aside from method number one, the third way is to actually increase your basal metabolic rate and increase your work capacity, so that every single session that you do compounds in and of itself, so that you get so that instead of letting all those nutrients go into your fat, now you're routing all of those nutrients into your muscle. And that is the primary reason why we are such big fans of resistance training. And if you're training at HBCF, you'll notice that a lot of what we do is based on resistance training. It's based on increasing BMR, increasing work capacity. So just to wrap it all up, 3 ways. Number one, okay, use habit-based approach. You don't have to give up any food as long as you follow these 5 habits. Number one, eat slow. Number 2, eat 80% full. Number 3, have vegetables with all of your meals. Number 4, have protein with all of your meal. And number 5, what is number 5? Natural fats. Have natural fats into your diet. And natural fats, santan is natural fats, so you don't have to worry about it. Pork belly, natural fat. I know it sounds weird, but we'll do another video on that some other time. But yeah, so that is first thing, is a habit-based approach. Second thing, you can do diets. Not a fan, but it is an option. But not a fan. I'm not a fan. Number 3, increase your basal metabolic rate and your work capacity, and you'll be all right. So if you can incorporate number 1 and number 3 together, you have a very, very sustainable fitness methodology that you can follow for the rest of your life. If you are a client of HBCF, good luck, good for you, because we implement that into your coaching program. You have your training over here that you can use, that incorporates resistance training, that increases your BMR and your work capacity. And you also have Pro Coach, which is a curriculum from Precision Nutrition that can actually change how you feel about food and actually make you enjoy the things that you used to not enjoy, and while still retaining the ability to enjoy normal Malaysian food. I'm a big fan of Malaysian food. I've been having it. I don't feel deprived. I don't deprive myself of any Malaysian food, but I am still able to maintain my leanness even while training twice and 3 times a week only. I don't train like a beast. Okay, I train like 30 minutes, 40 minutes at a time. And my training, most of the time, it looks pretty easy. So yeah, there you have it. And I hope that this helps. And I really would like to have a conversation with those who are asking this question to go into more detail. feel free to hit me up and comment down below or send me a private message or email me, and I will make another video on that. Again, thank you.